there was a trade that happened about an hour ago. The Charlotte Hornets are trading Terry Rozier to the Miami Heat for a 2027 first-round pick and Kyle Lowry. So now Terry Rozier is on the Miami Heat. Kyle Lowry was, I believe, he had substantial minutes on the Miami Heat, and was a very vital piece in the Miami Heat and their progression going into the finals for those 2 years. So he was, he was a very vital piece to that offense, a very important veteran, a very good role model. So I don't know exactly what this move is for the Charlotte Hornets. I don't know what they expect to get out of Kyle Lowry. He does average a decent amount of minutes. He doesn't really, his stats, they're okay for given his age and the role that he plays right now or that he played for the Miami Heat. But I don't exactly understand what they could get out of him in this deal, but I guess we'll find out later. I thought that was actually going to be their trade piece to get DeJounte Murray, Kyle Lowry, and a couple of other pieces, but I guess I was wrong. But let's go back to one of the anticipated matchups of the last night, which was Joel Embiid dropping 70 points. He passed Giannis's record of scoring 64 points in the season to scoring 70 points last night. He became the third player in the last 2 years to do this. The last two players that scored 70 points are Damian Lillard and Donovan Mitchell. So he is the first center since David Robinson to score 70-plus points. Obviously, doesn't matter what team you do that on. Scoring 70 points is a lot of points, but with Joel Embiid, there's this sort of subset, this sort of group of people that don't necessarily like Joel Embiid's play style. I'm one of those people that doesn't like his play style, but at the same time, I am not one of those people that is going to completely disregard the fact that he has he dropped 70 points. He has a subset of haters that think that everything that he does good doesn't matter simply because he can't do this in the postseason. Now, my personal opinion, the regular season is a long time, and the league is trying to find ways to make this regular season very important. Saying that big games like this and big performances like this don't necessarily matter is the exact opposite of what the league is trying to do and making these games very important. So it doesn't matter that this performance is against a bottom 3 team in the league. Like, they went up against the San Antonio Spurs, and okay, so what? If anyone scores 70-plus points, that is impressive. If anything, this is how like any fan should react if their favorite player is and this is how any fan should react and how any fan should expect their favorite player to respond when going against bad teams like this. They expect them to go off. They expect them to have these big nights. They expect them to do these type of things, to have these great games. So with this performance from Joel Embiid, what does this do to his status in the MVP voting? So, as of right now, he is neck and neck between Jokic. Shai recently moved up to 3, while Giannis and Luka are down to 4 and 5. It's funny because every single year Luka manages to make it to the top 5 in MVP voting, but he always ends up finding his way out of that voting, despite being a fan favorite like every single year. And here's the thing this year. a cap to how many games you are required to play, meaning that if you do not meet that cap requirement of 65 games, you aren't getting the MVP. So Embiid has played in 32 games compared to Jokic, Shai, and Giannis, who have played over 40 games. So if Embiid misses a few of these games because, like, God forbid he gets injured, he could risk not getting the award. So that MVP might not be confirmed for him simply because of the amount of games he has played. And it seems to be a lock for him as of right now, assuming that none of the other players below him end up going off towards the end of the season. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you guys think that do you guys like these changes to the awards? Do you like that now you have to be required to play a lot of games in order to get these awards? Or did you like how it was before, where you didn't have to play every single game and you didn't need to have that sort of restriction on you as a player? I personally think it's great. Once again, goes back to what I said before about putting value on the regular season. I see this as a step in that direction, and it's a step in the right direction. Obviously, it's going to take a while to get used to that thinking, since everything important that happens in any sort of sport happens in the postseason. But still, a lot of people aren't going to be happy with Embiid winning this award if he can't make it out of the second round. That is a very big stipulation on him. The only reason why people are looking at this more critically towards him than anyone else is because he is the only player that has won an MVP and has never made it past the second round. There's also the argument that he won the MVP last year out of pity and that it wasn't deserved. A lot of people wanted Jokic to win that award last year. I was one of those people, but it doesn't matter because he ended up winning the Finals MVP. So that's always great and really shows like who the better center is. Joel has opportunities to make noise in the postseason, but every single time he fails to do so. A lot of the people would find more value in a player like Jokic, not just because of his regular season performances, but also because of his playoff performances. Obviously, having or being good in both is much more valuable than just being an MVP in the regular season. But as of right now, Joel Embiid is that MVP favorite, in my opinion, because of that amazing performance on the anniversary of Kobe dropping 81 points. R.I.P. his soul. He obviously, and coincidentally, he wasn't the only center or the only big man last night that had a very good night on Kobe's anniversary. We're also going to talk about Karl Anthony Towns in the second segment after this short break. So I will be right back.